Hi everyone, Morten Ostad here with another video. In this video I will be unboxing a box set from Van Halen. And just quickly about Van Halen and me. I started buying Van Halen records in 1985. And those were vinyl records. One or two actually were cassettes, something I had to rectify later on. And then gradually, I transitioned into CDs, and then I went back and I bought the older ones on CD. So I have a complete Van Halen studio album collection on CD, including my latest acquisition, which was a year and a half ago, that infamous Van Halen 3 CD. And then a year and a half, 2 years ago, I got this one. And that is, of course, 1986 and 1996 with the Sammy Hagar years. You had 5150, OU 812, For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, and Balance, as well as Studio Rarities, which are on the back there. Now you say, what about all the other records? So, I don't have Van Halen 3 on vinyl. I don't know if that's something people do. And I don't have the David Lee Roth Reunion album. And I guess most people on the planet don't have a kosher version of that one on vinyl either. So my Van Halen are, the ones I got in the 80s. And there's the first one. And you have a wonderful number 2. And the great Women and Children First. Fair Warning, which is on vinyl, is something I've gotten in the last 3 years. A second-hand copy, because I still have this one. But I bought it back when I was a teenager on cassette for some reason. Diver Down. And 1984. Look, pipe sticker. And as well as my old copy of 5150. And not my old copy, because this was a cassette back then, later on CD, but I got this a couple of years ago of OU 812. However, having this one and then not having its predecessor, which was made in the same shape and form and look, was rather irksome. And playing most of these records, which I've now have had for, well, in some cases 40 years, is a noisy affair. It's a lot of crack, snapple, pop, so on. So I've had my eye out for the first box, which is getting sold out online both here and there. But I had been collecting points on my online survey thing that I do, which when I get enough points, I can collect them and I can get various products. And one of those products I can get are gift cards from Platekompaniet, their record store just a couple of streets away from me here. And they've had this one in their shelf for quite a long time in store. You can't order it on their website anymore. So I went down there with my gift cards, and then I saw that it was still there. And so it cost $190. And I said to them, I took a look at it, and I could see that there was a couple of dents on the cover. So I said, is it okay if we talk a little bit about the price of this? Because this has been in the shelf for quite a long time now, and some of the plastic is coming off, and there's some dents here and a few marks and so on. And he said, yeah, I'll get one of the senior guys. And they did. And he said, yeah, sure. How about 20% off? So with that and my gift cards, I paid $30 for this. So that's pretty good. And I went out of there and I sort of saw my reflection. I said, "Who is this guy?" I'm not a very good haggler normally. But anyway, guys, Van Halen's groundbreaking first 6 albums on 180 gram vinyl. There we are. I now feel complete. So let's get this shrink wrap off. See if I can do it without destroying the hype sticker like I did on the Black Sabbath record I just opened. So of course you guys have seen this before. Nothing new for you. So it's very minor, but you can maybe make out that there are a few bumps and bruises on the cover there. But there it is. And we can now, hopefully without losing them, hold them up next to each other. Is that the thumbnail? So I love these old albums. I like the Hagar ones too. I was never, Hagar had already joined Van Halen when I started buying Van Halen records, but I wasn't aware of that. We're talking 1985, and I wasn't religiously checking up on MTV what was being said about things, and yeah, I did buy some rock and roll and heavy metal magazines then, but I don't think they talk much about Van Halen. So yeah, let's look at those. I feel like I've already shown you all these records. So there, of course, is the beautiful debut. Pure rock and roll. So I'm guessing these are, relatively speaking, quite sort of bare bones. But them bones. I always like Michael Anthony. I always like the bass players. And it's got the boulevard of palm trees, and the old Warner Brothers logo on top there. And Van Halen 2. This is a hard press to say which Van Halen record is my favorite. I think Van Halen 2 is one that I very often, grab when I'm in a Van Halen mood. My camera shut off. And we, of course, have Women and Children First. Another great. So in here we have a white inner sleeve. And there's the record. But we also have that poster. David Lee Roth, which I'm not sure I have in my old copy anymore. There we go. And it never left the record again. And this is my favorite album, by the way, guys. This is Fair Warning. This is my favorite Van Halen record. Inner sleeve, which isn't glossy. Looks a bit like they did the same thing here that they did on one of my Ronnie James Dios, where the first album had a different record label on the vinyl, and all the rest had the same after that. And here's Diver Down. With inner sleeve. Yeah, staying the course here with a, and finally, of course, 1984, the Smoking Cherub, Angel, Child Angel, and just as I remember it. And again. So that was me showing you the Van Halen box of the original, and now I have they can stand next to each other, and I don't feel like I have a little piece of sand in my eye when I walk past my record collection. And yeah, I'm not sure what I'll do with. I'll probably keep my old Van Halen albums from back in the day, because I don't think they're in the kind of nick where I want someone else to end up with them, apart from, yeah, I'm gonna say that because it's Friday the 13th today. So you guys, thanks for watching. Please click like, that helps my channel, and if you want to subscribe, that makes me happy. And please leave comments, talk about Van Halen and your love of, hopefully, Van Halen, and I hope to see you guys soon in another video. Take care, guys. Bye bye.